My wife Augusta's officially out, and I've been doing a lot of testing, ladies and gentlemen. So in today's video, I'm going to show y'all my build. I'm going to show you my echoes. I'm going to show you some runs, and I'm going to tell you where I think she stands in the overall meta, S0R1s, and also S6R5s. Because yes, we did S6R5 Augusta, and I gotta say, she's pretty damn impressive. There are some things that are very specific to how she plays that I kind of want to break down as I show you guys some gameplay. But without further ado, let's hop on in and take a look at my Augusta. So here we have Augusta live in the flesh, and let me tell you, she is an absolute monster. I know you're looking at these stats asking yourself, how in the hell does this man have that much crit rate and that much crit damage? Why is his attack 4,600? And there's even more, ladies and gentlemen. We're also sitting here with 95.9 heavy attack, and we're sitting here with 142 electro damage. Now, these are indeed S6 numbers with Shorekeeper and Mortify doing their thing, right? This is a fully buffed Augusta. Now, I want to tell you guys regarding Augusta, she is an absolute powerhouse of a character. She's extremely strong if you know how to play her. And I know you're going to see a lot of people tell you, yo, Augusta's pretty easy to play. She is a character that, to learn the basics, she's easy to play. But if you want to really maximize this character, she is a lot more complex to play than characters like Zani, characters like Cardathea, characters like Frolova. She's a very interesting character because she has a lot of freaking combos and a lot of different per se abilities or heavy attacks that really make her play very differently. You could use some of these attacks to dodge and weave. You can use some of these attacks to set up abilities and rotations. Overall, she's a very fun character. In terms of combat, I won't say she's the easiest. I won't say she's basic. I won't say she's has very smooth rotations. But what I will say about this character is she has the most interactive and intense combat out of any other character in the game. She's so fun to play, doing all her abilities. If you want to be up in the air, if you want to go straight and back, if you want to hit heavy, is so good. Now, let's move on over. Yes, her weapon is fully maxed out, as I was saying. Pretty damn strong weapon. Not the craziest. Like, you might be thinking, yo, that's a whole lot of stacks. It doesn't even feel that way, ladies and gentlemen. It is pretty damn good, I will say. But it's not, like, out of this world in terms of, like, what it really offers, right? Now, moving on over to the echoes. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been farming these echoes. When it comes to these two right here, I was farming them probably the last 2 weeks over on our Twitch. And when it comes to these other things right here, I got very lucky and just rolled some good shit. So let's go ahead and look at the echoes. First off, we have the False Sovereign with crit rate. He has an attack, crit damage, heavy attack, and crit rate roll. And honestly, this is exactly what you want. I don't know how you could make this better. You can put some ER into her if you want. You can put some Liberation. I don't really know, ladies and gentlemen. I think that these are pretty much the go-to. And then, you just add the basic attack damage in there. Sure, why not? This is a pretty damn good forecast. Moving on over to our Violet Feather Heron. Electro damage bonus, energy regen, crit damage, crit rate, heavy attack damage bonus. That's priority. Now, I wish I would have had attack percentage on here. That would have been great. But ER is really good as well. It ain't bad. I just, that attack percentage would have made a nice little extra difference. Moving on over to our Nightmare Violet Feather Heron. Pretty much the same. Energy regen, crit rate, crit damage, heavy attack. Pretty much carbon copy of this one right here. Only difference is I got Liberation instead of HP. So technically this one's a little bit better. Not bad at all. For our one cost, we have a Spectral Prism with heavy attack damage bonus, crit damage, and crit rate. And for our last one cost, we have a Nightmare Electro Predator with crit damage, crit rate, and attack bonus, heavy attack bonus. So as you can see, despite the echoes being pretty damn good, there is still a lot of room for improvement. I could have attack percentage here, attack percentage here, attack percentage here, and attack percentage here. You could trade in even two of these, adding attack percentage instead of, stats that aren't that impactful, like HP, for example, or that Liberation, or this flat attack, or that basic attack into a attack percentage would be absolutely insane. Yes, obviously everything is level 10 because that's how you treat your waifus, bro. You gotta treat your wife right. Now, Her stats are crazy. I don't remember exactly what part of the rotation I'm in, so you guys might see some scuff gameplay right now, but it is what it is. All right, here we go. Let's see what we were doing. There we go. And look at her damage, bro. She's just destroying this thing, bro. She's absolutely obliterating it. She's and I didn't even do her final burst right there, baby. Boom. That's insane, bro. She's an absolute monster of a character. Now, there are some things that I want to show you guys because yesterday we did a lot of testing, right? We did a lot of testing with Augusta. Her stacks start going down, all that good stuff, yada, yada, yada. But yeah, we did a lot of testing with Augusta, and we did testing at S0. We cleared every floor of the tower, right? We clear a level 100 hologram at S0 R1 with a Mortifee and a Shorekeeper, and she cleared the hologram in like a little bit over a minute. She cleared all 3 floors of the tower with no problem whatsoever. And this was before I mid-maxed the echoes and before I learned her rotations a little bit better. So in terms of what she brings to the table, she's pretty damn good. She's pretty damn strong, I will say that. And then on top of that, we did a lot of testing, ladies and gentlemen. As we know, pretty much the absolute demon right now is Cardathea for being the strongest DPS, right? Her team is absolutely strong, whether you're running her with SK or you're running her with Arrow Rover, right? She's absolutely strong. So I tested every possible run, every possible rotation that I could versus my Augusta. Now, they're both S6 R5, and I will say, Cardathea has her best in slot partner with Siakona, which is also S6 R5, right? And then we were running Augusta with Mortifee, which is not even max level or anything. Not that that really matters much, but that's not her best in slot partner, right? And they're both being ran with Shorekeeper. So pretty even testings. They're both relatively equal in terms of stat. I know you look at this and you're like, what the hell? But trust me, she's up there too, ladies and gentlemen. But I will say it's very different playstyles, and this is how I broke it down for my homies, right? We have the fusion team with the GOAT Brant. Whether you're, running the mono fusion team with Brant, Lupa, and Shangli, all of those characters have very fluid motions, very fluid rotations, right? That's how the Brant team or the fusion team feels to play. Smooth rotations and transitions from one character to the other. Very basic, smooth rotations and flow. Then you have a character like Zani, for example, or Cardathea, which it feels like climbing to the peak of a mountain. You're setting them up, boom, Shorekeeper, right? Then you got your Siakona, and by the time Cardathea's on the field, right, you're bursting down everything. But when it comes to a character like Cardathea is a very, very basic character. She's very simple. You literally go in, you do your skills, you get your swords, and you're just basic attacking. Attack, 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 attack. You build up big form, fleur-de-lis form, transform into fleur-de-lis, skill, attack, 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 attack. Get your Skybreaker, boom, destroy the enemy. That's how it is with Cardathea, right? So even though it's also a smooth playstyle in the sense that you just go from 1 to 2 to 3, when it comes to these hyper carry DPS teams, I feel like it's like climbing a fucking mountain, right? Like you just build up everything, and at the peak you got your character and you burst with it, right? Cardathea is a character that's a very basic character to play, very easy to play, very easy to build, and you do get her with really good damage and all that good stuff. Now, as we move on over to Augusta, what I gotta say about Augusta is, obviously, she doesn't have her best in slot team, right? At the moment. So her rotations don't feel as smooth, even though Mortifee is pretty damn good when it comes to quick rotations and all that good stuff. But her rotations aren't as smooth as some of the other teams. Now, when it comes to her gameplay, though, I gotta tell you, her gameplay feels like you're playing a fighting game. Yo, shout out to the glue. Shout out to the glue, man. She feels like she's a fighting character, bro. She has so many combos that you could do. It's not straightforward like most other characters where you're like basic hold, and skill, and that's it. Most of them, the most they'll have is like a second form or like a moment of buff that makes them act a little bit different. For example, Cantarella, right? Characters like that, or characters like Zani that change into another form and the attacks feel a little bit different. Cardithea's kind of similar to that as well. But when it comes to Augusta, ladies and gentlemen, I just got to show y'all. Because Augusta is actually insane when it comes to her gameplay. Let's make sure all our cooldowns are down. We'll wait for her. In the meantime, bro, tell me she's not fire, bro. Like, she looks so good. Look at her walking, bro. Hold on. Remember, I got drift. I got drift on my controller, guys. I guess she ain't walking. Ooh, look at that, bro. Why is she so big, chat? All right, so here's how I do a rotation. And if I scuff it, I ain't double editing, man. I'm tired. Got a lot to do today, so we're just going to do it in one take, okay? Here we go. Storekeeper, right? We go in like this. We go in like that. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. We go into Augusta. There we go. And then we do a quick just merc. And he's dead. And that was not a good rotation. But you guys get to see the type of damage and timing she's on, right?